You know, marketers and marketing departments are busier than ever. Dashboards are full, reports are perfect, everyone's doing the work.
So why do the results still feel off?
Because somewhere along the way, tools started replacing thinking, judgment, or strategy.
If your dashboard says success,
But your P&L says otherwise. Today's show is for you.
Welcome to Trivera's AI Deep Dive podcast, hosted by Chip and Nova, our AI co-hosts. Together, they transform top marketing insights from our blogs, articles, and events into actionable strategies you can use. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
Welcome to this episode of the Trivera Deep Dive. I'm Chip.
and I'm Nova, happy as always to be here.
So today's conversation is especially relevant if you're a marketer surrounded by activity, reports, and data, but still struggling to see all that activity producing real results.
We're digging into the thinking of Trivera's founder, Tom Snyder, and his latest blog, How Tools, Dashboards, and Checklists Are Quietly Crippling Your Marketing. Tom's been doing this for over 30 years, long enough to see every new tool promise clarity, speed, and certainty, and long enough to see how easily those same tools can send marketers down a path to stagnation and eventually to failure.
The core of this deep dive is a really uncomfortable truth. We have more data than ever, but maybe, just maybe, we're doing less actual thinking.
It's a real concern. Tom points out how marketing has quietly turned into this. Think about it. Checklists.
Yeah?
Think about your own week, Launch the campaign, set up the analytics, build the dashboard, grab a template, report.
The boxes get checked.
Everyone stays busy.
And feeling busy feels good. It feels like work.
Mm.
I mean, if I go home tired, I assume I was productive. It's almost a dopamine hit, isn't it?
It is. But as Tom points out, being busy is not the same thing as winning.
Oof. That stings a little.
It should. The problem isn't the tools themselves. It's the over-reliance on them. It creates what our founder calls the illusion of progress.
The illusion of progress.
Yeah, you see certifications being earned, numbers moving on a screen, and it all looks fine on the surface. But underneath, there's often this total disconnect between that activity and the actual business results.
So play psychologist for a second. Why do we fall for this? Why do smart people love the checklist so much?
Oh, it's entirely psychological. Checklists are, they're reassuring, they create structure, they reduce uncertainty.
Right.
In a chaotic world where the economy's weird and customers are fickle, it feels very safe to say, yes, we are doing what we're supposed to be doing.
We ticked the box.
Exactly. It's a security blanket.
Don't fire me. I did all the steps.
Precisely. You think it indemnifies you against failure. But the danger is that the checklist doesn't care if what you're doing actually matters.
Right.
It doesn't care if the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall, as long as you're climbing it.
This leads to one of the most, I think, relatable analogies in Tom's blog, the boss's niece scenario.
Or the fresh intern.
Yes.
The idea that because someone is young or a digital native, they must just get the internet right.
Freck. Oh, hire my nephew. He's on TikTok all day. He can run our marketing.
It happens constantly. And modern marketing tools are designed to be accessible. They're incredibly easy to use.
Sure.
But that accessibility creates a dangerous illusion. We start to think that if someone knows how to use the tool, they must understand the strategy.
So companies convince themselves they don't need a strategist.
They think the intern knows how to use ChatGPT, or the boss's niece is on social media all day. She can run our accounts.
I love that example because it highlights a specific fallacy. I mean, just because I know how to use a hammer doesn't mean you should hire me to architect your house.
That is the perfect distinction. Familiarity with a tool is not the same as judgment earned through experience. Tom writes that the intern might be a whiz with the tools, they might be incredibly smart.
Right. It's not an attack on them.
Not at all. The issue is substituting that tool proficiency for strategic wisdom.
Okay, so we've established that we're addicted to this feeling of productivity that tools give us. But the blog post gets really specific. It outlines 5 ways that tools quietly replace strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to walk through these one by one because I think a lot of you listening are going to recognize these traps in your own meetings.
Let's do it. These are the silent killers of marketing ROI.
The first one we touched on a little bit, the illusion of expertise.
This is the knowing where to click problem.
Explain that. How does knowing where to click disguise itself as expertise?
Well, look at the UI of any major platform. Google Ads, Meta Business Suite, HubSpot. They're designed to be intuitive.
Of course, they want you to spend money.
Right, so they make it easy to launch things. This lowers the barrier to entry, which is good for access, but it also lowers the bar for what we perceive as expertise.
Oh.
Tom argues that knowing where to click is not the same as knowing what question you should be asking in the first place.
That is huge.
Yeah.
It's the difference between knowing how to generate a report and knowing why you even need that report.
Exactly. A tool can give you an answer to any question, but if you ask the wrong question, the answer is worthless. A strategist knows what to ask. A tool user just looks for the run report button.
So it creates marketers who are technically proficient, but maybe strategically hollow.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, let's move to number 2. This one feels a bit more sinister. Tools start dictating priorities.
This is where we get into behavioral modification. Tools are not neutral. They shape our behavior.
Wait, the tools tell us what to do? That sounds like a sci-fi movie.
Subtly, yes. There's a concept called the streetlight effect. You look for your keys under the streetlight, not because that's where you lost them, but because that's where the light is.
Oh.
Dashboards tend to highlight what's easy to measure: clicks, likes, impressions.
Because those are binary. Someone clicked or they didn't. Simple.
Right, but things like brand sentiment, long-term loyalty, or market positioning, those are hard to measure, so the dashboard pushes them to the side. And over time, the marketer starts to prioritize the things that make the graph go up just because the tool highlights them.
So the tool ends up replacing the strategy. You're not optimizing for business growth. You're optimizing for the dashboard's approval.
You end up chasing metrics just because the dashboard put them in a big font. It's the tail wagging the dog.
That is actually kind of scary. It explains so much about clickbait-style marketing, which leads right into number 3. Dashboards don't challenge assumptions.
This is a big one. Tools are the ultimate yes men.
They don't push back.
Never. A dashboard will never turn to you and say, hey, I think this goal doesn't make any sense.
Or, are you sure you defined success correctly?
Exactly. It just reports what it was told to report. And that's why dashboards can look so impressive while answering completely the wrong questions. They validate whatever you put into them without any critical thought.
So if you set up a campaign to drive traffic to a Break-In website,
the dashboard will happily report traffic is up 50%. It won't tell you that everyone bounced immediately because the page didn't load.
it lacks context. It lacks common sense.
It lacks judgment.
Yes.
It's a mirror that only reflects what you put in front of it. And if you put a bad strategy in front of it, it will reflect a successful execution of a bad strategy.
Which brings us to number 4, and this is one I think every business owner has felt. Activity mistaken for insight.
Yes. This is the classic boardroom battle, the tension between marketing and sales.
Paint the picture for us.
Okay, so the monthly review. Marketing comes in, their report says success, traffic is up, engagement looks healthy, click-through rate is above average. They're high-fiving. But the sales team is sitting there with their arms crossed saying, where are the leads? The phones aren't ringing. The inbox is empty.
Or the CFO is looking at the P&L saying, where is the money?
Exactly. Conversions are messy. Revenue doesn't move in a straight line. But the dashboard shows these smooth, happy lines. Reality says otherwise.
So you have a green marketing dashboard and a red bank account.
And that is a dangerous place to be. It creates a delusion of competence.
And finally, number 5. This one seems counterintuitive because we always think speed is good. Speed makes wrong decisions worse.
Powerful tools let us move incredibly fast. We can launch ads in minutes, generate copy in seconds. But our founder makes a crucial distinction here.
Which is?
Tools don't make better decisions. They just make faster ones.
So if you're headed in the wrong direction,
you just get to the crash site sooner. Without judgment, speed just means you reach the wrong conclusion with higher confidence and at a larger scale.
That is a powerful image. Zooming off a cliff with total confidence because the GPS said, go straight.
It really emphasizes the central thesis here. Tools are easy. Judgment is not. Anyone can learn where to click.
Very few people know which reports shouldn't exist at all. I think that's my favorite line from the blog.
It's a great one. We're so used to adding more data, we rarely ask if we should subtract it. Tom uses the example of GA4 Google Analytics 4.
The bane of many marketers' existence recently. I hear people complaining about it constantly.
Right. But he says knowing how to use GA4 is just table stakes. That's the bare minimum to even sit at the table. The real experience, the real value is knowing when, why, and how GA4 is misleading you.
Misleading you. How does a data tool mislead?
By stripping context. A tool like GA4 can tell you that traffic from social is down. but it can't tell you the economy shifted, or a competitor launched a massive sale, or that your audience moved to a platform GA4 doesn't track well.
It tells you what happened, but not why it happened.
Or if it even matters, it gives you the what without the so what, and the so what is where the money is.
Right.
Exactly.
So we have pretty thoroughly dismantled the idea that a full dashboard equals a good strategy. We know what the problem is. We're letting tools do the thinking for us. But if the tools aren't the answer, where does actual strategy live?
That is the big question. And when we come back, we're going to look at the solution. How do you inject that human element back into the machine? We'll be right back.
Hard to believe, Nova. A new year is already underway, and this month marks 30 years of Trivera helping businesses grow online.
Absolutely, Chip. And the digital landscape isn't slowing down. Websites, SEO, geo-targeting, content, analytics, and AI are all evolving faster than ever.
For 3 decades, smart marketers have partnered with Trivera for high-performance websites and ROI-driven digital strategy, combining proven fundamentals with the latest tools.
And I should know, I'm Webster, Trivera's AI assistant and agent. I'm part of how we power smarter strategy through AI-assisted content, fully trained AI agents, predictive insights, and ongoing optimization designed to drive real results.
It all starts with smart strategy and rock-solid website development, built for performance, not noise.
If you're ready for a stronger digital ecosystem, deeper engagement, and measurable ROI,
trust Trivera. To make this the year, smart strategy actually delivers results for you.
Welcome back to Trivera's AI Deep Dive. Now back to our conversation with Chip and Nova.
we are back on the Trivera Deep Dive. We spent the first half of this discussion realizing that our marketing tools might be quietly plotting against our critical thinking skills.
Or at least enabling our laziness. Enabling is probably the right word. They're enablers of non-thinking.
So let's pivot. If strategy isn't found in a tool or a template, where does it actually live? Our founder had some specific thoughts on this.
He did. First, he sort of redefines what strategy even is. I think a lot of people think strategy is this 50-page PDF you pay a consultant for in January.
Then you shove it in a drawer and get back to work.
Yes, exactly.
The doorstop strategy. I'm guilty.
Tom argues strategy is an ongoing discipline. It's active.
Ongoing discipline. I like that. Sounds like exercise. You can't just go to the gym once a year.
You can't. It's the connective tissue. Strategy is what connects your goals to your messaging, your channels, your website, your measurement. Without it, those things are just isolated tactics floating around.
And this is where the Team Trivera philosophy really shines through. He calls this the human layer.
The human layer. This is the part tools cannot replace. He lists a few ways real strategy shows up in the wild, and none of them involve a software update.
Give us some examples. What does this actually look like in practice? Because I think people struggle to visualize strategy outside of a document.
Well, strategy shows up when someone pushes back on best practices because they don't fit the specific business.
Can you give me an example of that?
Sure. A tool or an algorithm will always suggest the best practice average. It might say, post on LinkedIn at 9 a.m. on Tuesdays. That's when engagement is highest globally.
Right.
But a strategist might look at your specific audience, maybe you target night shift nurses or international shipping logistics managers, and say, no, we are posting at 2 a.m. A tool can't make that leap.
Oh, that's good.
A strategist knows when you are the exception to the rule.
Because if you just follow the best practice, you are just being average.
Exactly. Best practice usually just means common practice. Strategy also shows up when data is interpreted in a real-world context, or when a contrarian approach is chosen over conventional wisdom. A dashboard will rarely tell you to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing, but sometimes that is exactly how you win.
That's the zig when everyone else zags idea. An algorithm creates an average. A human creates a differentiator.
Precisely. If you do exactly what the tool tells you, you'll eventually look exactly like your competitors because they're using the same tools. Strategy shows up when decisions are deliberate, not just reactive to a dashboard change.
It's about taking back control from the tool.
Yes.
So putting this all together, what does this mean for our listener? Let's say I'm a marketing director. I've got my reports. I've got my team on all the latest platforms. But I feel that gap we talked about. I feel like we're just spinning our wheels.
If your marketing feels busy but directionless, or if you are just tired of getting reports instead of answers, this is your wake-up call. That frustration you're feeling is exactly what happens when powerful tools are allowed to stand in for judgment.
And I think it's important to clarify, Team Trivera isn't anti-tool. We aren't saying go back to pen and paper.
Not at all. Tom is clear on this. At Trivera, they've spent decades working alongside these tools. They respect them, they use them. They probably have more certifications than most agencies. But, and this is the key, they do not confuse them with thinking.
Right. The goal isn't to just flood clients with data.
No, the goal is to help clients make better decisions, and that requires asking harder questions. It means demanding answers that dashboards alone can't provide. It means translating all that complexity into clear direction that actually moves the business forward.
It really comes down to that distinction between explaining what happened and guiding what to do next.
That is the essence of the strategy gap. Anyone can tell you traffic went down 10%. That's reporting. A strategist tells you why, and more importantly, whether you should care and what to do about it. That is the human layer.
So here's the challenge for you, the listener. Look at your last marketing report. Seriously, pull it up. Did it tell you what to do, or did it just tell you what happened? Look at your team. Are they checking boxes, or are they asking why?
And are you letting your tools dictate your priorities, or are you using the tools to support a vision that you created?
Powerful stuff. It's a reminder that in a world of AI and automation, the most valuable asset is still human judgment.
Absolutely. The tools are the engine, but the human must be the driver.
Well, if this conversation has sparked a realization that maybe your marketing has become a bit too checklist heavy, Tom and Team Trivera have a pitch for you.
That's right. As Tom says, if you are ready to stop accepting excuses and start getting direction, let's talk.
Trivera is ready to help you reinforce your brand and actually succeed using digital technology properly as a tactic, not a crutch.
You can contact Trivera to start that conversation. They're ready to help you close that strategy gap.
And as for us, please make sure to download this deep dive if you found it useful. Keep it handy for the next time you feel overwhelmed by a dashboard.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Trivera Deep Dive so you never miss one.
Also, share this with a colleague, especially that one who loves their color-coded spreadsheets a little too much. They might need to hear this.
We all know one.
We do. Until next time, keep thinking.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks for joining us on Trivera's AI Deep Dive with Chip and Nova. If you enjoyed this episode, you can find more and stay up to date with new episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, or find them on our website and our social media channels. And don't forget to visit us at Trivera.com to learn how we can help take your marketing to the next level. Ready to talk? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.